Welcome to Management 111 Online. My name is Dr. George Mochocki, and while we're in week 4, I think it is. So this week we're going to be covering chapters 6, which is entrepreneurship, and chapter 7, which is leadership. Chapter 6 is an extension from chapter 5 on different kind of skills and attributes that a business owner should possess. But I want you to look at this. The reason I left the two chapters, chapter 6 and chapter 7, together, you're going to be doing two assessments for me. One of the assessments is going to be, do I have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? And another assessment is, do I have what it takes to be a leadership? What you'll find out, the same attributes or similar attributes of an entrepreneur in a small business or business owner are the same attributes that you'll need to be a successful leader or manager in a business or in a corporation. So let's go back to some of the information that we've done last week. You're doing good on the forums. You're doing well. You're being more active. Remember, the forums takes a little bit of time. If you notice how I do my posts in the forums, I don't do them all in one day. I do a little bit here, a little bit here, and that's how you should approach the forums. So, your first forum is due by Tuesday midnight, so we can get the process talking. So you'll log into the first forum, and you'll respond to my posts, and down the road, so you'll respond to other students, depending if there's other forums available. And then during the week, I will update the points. So you may get 5 points now, and the next week, when I look at it again on Wednesday or Wednesday morning, you'll get 7 points, and then you get 10 points. And finally, your last post should be on Friday midnight. I do make an exception to let some of you post by what do you call it, Saturday noon, but I don't want to see that as a norm. Okay, so if I see that you're always posting the last post on Saturday noon, you're gonna have to adjust. I understand most of you are working at other jobs just like I am, doing multiple tasking, but part of being a manager, part of being a small business owner, part of growing up within your educational process and at work is that you know how to manage time. There's only so much time in a day, so how do I manage time? I also have to balance my family, so you try to work around. There's only so much time that you as an individual could do, but you have to learn how to manage it effectively. Now, going forward at the forums, remember, you got to respond. Don't always wait for me to respond to your first forum. I've done that at the beginning to get the forums going so you know how it should operate. As we go forward, you'll see less of my involvement within the forums. I'll jump in every now and then to see to correct something or to expand on something, but I am reading all your posts. I want you to start interacting as a team, and this is part of the forums. It's so you interact as a team. So they're easy. I think that they're not that hard of a points. You do assessments and you're doing your feedback, coming back. Start using your first name of the individual. Make sure that you start writing at a college level. I don't want to hear any hey, yo, what's going on. This is a business class. This is a college level class, so you say, George, I agree with this, and try to see if you could incorporate some of the concepts from the vocabulary and from the book. This will help your learning process. So what do we have this week? So we took care of that. We should be okay. Your reading for this week is on chapters 6 is entrepreneurs. So again, open up I loaded all the PowerPoints. Click on the PowerPoints, click on my concept maps, and this map you're going to find out, going to tell you the definition of entrepreneurship. She's a risk taker, she's a risk taker. Talk about small businesses. They talk about benefits of being an entrepreneur. You have no boss. Indirectly, you do have a boss. You have the customers, but overall, you can control your time. So if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to do work online, like my daughter-in-law does a lot of work online, but basically she enjoys it. But you have to be determined that you come in. Otherwise, it's going to say, I'll get it later, like some of you are doing in the forums. And before you know it, the forums has passed. What's the downsides of small businesses? Outsourcing small businesses. A lot of companies, you don't have to be in the office because of technology. You can do all your work online. They'll supply you with a computer, they'll supply you with an access card, and you're basically at home. So you have the freedom, like I do a lot of the my consulting or my teaching online and face-to-face. But it gives me the flexibility that I'm looking for. What's the difference between an entrepreneur and an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is something within the organization that gives you freedoms. Everything. Marketing has a lot of entrepreneur, new product design. It doesn't have all the restrictions like you would in a corporate world that we've talked about last week, but it's basically it gives you a little more freedom to express it. The drawback is you don't keep your ideas. You will get like an assessment or a bonus for coming up with new ideas, but the ideas belong to the corporation that you're developing for it. Like some mentioned before in the other classes, in the last week's forum, the risk is taken away from you. More of the risk is on the corporation. Okay, what's a small business? The Small Business Administration. Why do most businesses fail? What you'll find most businesses fail not because of a good plan, it's because they don't control their time management and they don't control their spending. So they have to look at the expense side. How much could I spend, and where do I spend? I have to be very selective. Once your business grows and you have a little more extra capital or disposable income, just like you do in your personal life, then you could take a little bit higher risk. Okay, family affair. Do I hire family members? Most small business start with a family member. Problem with family members is hard to fire them, or sometimes they just take it like this is old to me, and you don't get the production out of it. And when you're hiring new employees, they look at family-owned business. How am I going to get promoted? Unless I marry into the family, or I basically become a partner with the family. Look at the market. Look at the SBIC, the Small Business Incorporated. Is attached to the Small Business Administration. There's one at Harper College. Look at the different markets. Another help. How do you manage small business employees? This will tie into next chapter. When you look at next chapter and the assessment you'll be doing in the next chapter, you'll be for this chapter, for chapter 6, you're going to be doing you're going to do a quick assessment, 10 questions. Do you have what is an entrepreneur? And that's going to be part of your forum, and I'll talk about it later. Okay, so we're all right with the forum for chapter 6. Chapter 7. Mind map for chapter 7, PowerPoints for chapter 7, print them out, look at them, read them, and then when you're reading the book, start adding in your own information on it. That's how you learn. The more you involve all senses of your brain, your eyes, your hands, your motion. Even if you talk, I'm reading this up. Oops, I had it upside down, excuse me. Okay, so what are you going to look at business? Here's where the importance is. The importance of different business structures are basically, I'm sorry, chapter 6. I'm looking at chapter 7. Chapter 7 is leadership. When I'm looking at chapter 7 leadership, what kind of attributes are we going to talk about leadership? There's different models of leadership. There's a contingency model. There's a lose model. So when you look at all the different types of models, is it just physical appearance that makes me a good leader? You're going to talk about different powers of a leader, different reward power, expert powers. You're going to be talking about the time management, different levels of a leader, the conceptual skills of a leader. Do I need the technical skills? Do I need the social skills? Do I need the interaction skills, or relationship skills? Am I a risk taker? So when you look at leadership in management or a small business owner, there's different levels. The first level, I think the supervision, first line supervisor, is the hardest, or it's always the first, but I think it's the most hardest to lead, because you have to understand all the ins and outs of the team that you're managing. As a supervisor, for credit, I have to show my team members how to operate the system. So I have to know the technical knowledge, I have to have the relationship knowledge, and I have to have all the power to be a good leader. But I'm still I'm kind of like have one foot into the management, and the other foot is I'm still part of the employee, because most first-line supervisors come out of the ranks, so they understand the process. Then you move into middle manager. As a middle manager, you still need the conceptual skills, you still need the technical skills, you still need the relationship. But now you turn around. You don't need as much of the technical skills. You need more of the conceptual skills and the relationships to start seeing the whole picture. Where first-line supervisors always seeing a narrow point, just what my team does. A middle manager sees how the other different teams or different functionalities move in. Then you move into the corporate, to the vice president or the president or the director or superintendent of many other processes that are under you. Here you don't need the technical as much. You need more of the relationship, but you need the conceptual is expanded, because you have to see how the whole company operates. Okay, so if you look at the different leaderships, very interesting. You're going to look at different models. You're going to look at different attributes, and then you'll have there's a 20-question quick assessment. Just answer. Do you like to work at home? Do you like to tell people what to do? And they'll tell you what your probabilities are of being a good leader. Now, when you look at the two assessments, the entrepreneurship and the leadership, put the two together, and you're going to see, hey, I almost need both of them. To be a good leader, I have to have the same entrepreneurship attributes and skills. And to be a good leader, to be a good entrepreneur, I have to still have the good leadership skills in managing and dealing with people, understanding the technical side of it. So that takes care of our two chapters. So now, in a nutshell, what do we have? You have the reading. Chapters 6 is entrepreneurship, and chapter 7 is leadership. You have two McGraw-Hill's Connect. One is a Connect on entrepreneurship. 10 points, easy 10 points. Read the chapters. It kind of reinforces what you have learned from the chapter. Then you have one Learn Smart. I set up for 30 minutes. Shouldn't take you longer than 30 minutes. Talks about different leaderships, different planning, different things to do as a leader that you should be aware of. So those are 20 points there. Then after you finish that, you have the quiz. And the quizzes, those of you who are nervous about the quiz, just 20 questions. They're quick questions. I've extended the time. I've given you an hour, and I think an hour for the quizzes. I moved up from the 40 minutes to an hour for the quizzes. You have more than enough time, or maybe even a little more than an hour. The quizzes are basically to check your learning. Have you really retained the main portions? Now the quizzes are in order. So I have chapter 6, we'll have 10 questions, each question is worth 1 point, and chapter 7, leadership, 10 questions, for a total of 20 questions, one-time deal. So you should do well on that. And then your discussion board, you'll have two forms. The major one will be talking about your assessments and how you scored on the entrepreneurship assessment and how you scored on the leadership assessment. And then you bring those information into the forum. And then remember, you respond to 3 other individuals by Tuesday. Midnight, you should have your first post, and then within the week, and 2 other days, and 3 other students with a maximum of 9+ posts. I'm looking at about 9-12 posts if you want to start getting the full points. And I'm looking more than one sentence. I just want to say, hey, this is a good job. Give me some information. Either encourage the person, edify the person, or tell them, I think, hey, do you look at the other way? These one-liners are not going to improve your communications, and it doesn't tell me or the reader that what are we really talking about. You're just agreeing. And why are you agreeing? Are you agreeing because you just want to agree to get the point, or you're agreeing because they've provided you some substance in your learning? Okay, so, and then the second one is a minor forum. It's what I call virtual water cooler. Any question? Hey, Dr. M, I like this. Dr. M, how about this? What's the test going to be? When are we going to start working on our major project? Any kind of question. Or I have no questions because it's already been answered. And those are easy 5 points. I look at those as like bonus points. But you still have to click in. You're already clicking into the form to check in the other form. Click in to see if there's anything in there that interests you, or something that you want to add on or help the other person. Remember, in a virtual setting, it's not only the leader that has to help other individuals. In a team setting, a virtual team, every team member was selected for their uniqueness and for their skills that they bring into the team. So you have to start working as a team. And even though this is a virtual classroom, you start responding, helping other people. Yeah, I like this thing. Or what about this frame of mine? And now you begin. That's where the forms. And you do it at different times. And you'll be surprised how you've learned to manage your time, how you've learned to respond, and how you learn to be effective and efficient as an online student, an online employee, or online manager. Okay, so you're doing very well. Keep up the good work. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is Management 111 online, offered by Harper College, utilizing Blackboard Course Management System, and we're covering Chapter 6, Entrepreneurship, and Chapter 7 in Leadership. And I'll see you in the forum in a second. Bye.